Hi everyone. I'm a member of Corundum Open Innovation, which is also an Israeli investment vehicle organizing JoyVentures. And my daily work is mainly supporting the JoyVentures incubation activity. So today I'm gonna talk a little bit about the JoyVentures vision of consumer product. So I wanna starting answering this simple question: what is a joyful consumer product? The simple answer is joyful consumer product is something people can enjoy their joyful moment in their daily life. It sounds almost a tautology, doesn't it? But I want to ask some of you a simple question again. What is your joyful moment in your daily life? So maybe, hello,
Name,
what's your name?
fear.
Naimel Dofir. What is your joyful moment in your life?
A lot of joyful moments, but for example, seeing my children when I come back home after kindergarten.
Seeing your children. I hope I could experience the same thing in the future. That's great. Okay, one more. Hello,
Hello, my name is Karen.
Karen.
One of my joyful moments is meeting good friends over for a coffee, dinner, or something. That's it.
Amazing. So, thank you for sharing your warm story. Obviously, the joyful moment is depending on each individuals, and as Karen mentioned in this morning, it's all about our subjective world, subjective way of thinking, and subjective view. So, it seems it's almost impossible to detect the precise definition of the joyful moment because the number of variety of joyful moment is almost equal to the population itself. And at Joy Ventures, we had a discussion on this abstract and philosophical theme, and we got one conclusion. Maybe it's almost impossible to get a precise definition of joyful moment itself, but we're sure that we can somehow elucidate the mystery of how to get into the joyful moment. In other words, we believe that we can design some triggers to meet a joyful moment in our daily life. So, for example, we have Chuck Norris's face now as a trigger for some positive impression, a positive memory. It's also a trigger. If you already forgot about him, maybe you are surrounded by 12 hertz noises around you. And through further discussion as a team, as Joy Ventures, we detected mainly three elements as a triggers for to meet joyful moment: change and preference and empathy. The first thing, change, is something momentary change you can experience in your daily life. For example, meeting your children, meeting your friends is like shifting your mental status from, for example, working mode to a private mode, or very like stressful mode to some kind of relaxed mode. This kind of momentary change in our daily life is one crucial component we are thinking as a trigger for joyful moment. And the second thing is preference. So, for example, thinking about the meeting some friend, you are meeting your friend because you want to meet them, because not because you are forced to do so. If you're forced to do so, it's just a pain for you. So this is the second piece of joyful moment. And the last thing is empathy. So thinking about any kinds of joyful moment, we are seeing some shape of empathy. Maybe empathy with other people, or empathy with the activity itself, or sometimes product itself. So when we see all of these three elements, that's something what we call joyful moment. I take a meditation here as an example. So thinking about meditation, the meditators are doing meditation But in other words, they are succeeding in changing their environment around them or their circumstances around them or even their physical and mental status. And they're succeeding in escaping from the daily baragang anything, right? That's the first thing. And the second thing, preference. So meditators might be able to get the same value from maybe another activity, right, like running or talking with friends and chatting with your kids, but they prefer meditating to any other activities. This is preference. And the last thing, empathy, is you can easily maybe imagine that any meditators have a kind of feeling of mental connection to other meditators or even teachers or masters, or sometimes, go ahead. Obviously, it completely depends, the impression of each people are different from each other. And what I'm saying here is these three elements are just an entry point or just a trigger to think about creating some joyful consumer, so to say. And of course, during or through all the process of, for example, meditation, you can get another insight or another emotion or another feeling through the process or experience itself. So it's changing all the times, but the first point, the trigger itself, is divided into these three elements. That's our understanding. I'm answering you? I hope so. And okay, so these three are like our, not only the investment or incubation mandate, but our vision to create some joyful moment or to create the joyful product itself. And I believe, sorry for a moment, we sure or we believe that we are the right investor to this area. So that's it. Thank you very much. Go ahead. I didn't touch upon regarding the time duration this time, but um, frankly speaking, we are envisioning the time duration as within one day, or some experiences we can like do several times in a day. That's our like vision.